to episode 20 of Anime and Us Other. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime movies. Kind of. I don't know. Sort of. Whatever it is.
We did not spin the wheel, but we did another other. So, Lupin III, the Colombian Files, or Columbus Files. For some reason, the list that we had it under Colombian Files when it's really Columbus. Was released on July 30th, 1999 in Japan, and November 29th, 2005 in America. Well, around the world in English.
And that's all the information we have on it.
Yeah, that's all we really need. What else do we need?
For some reason, the individual Lupin movies don't have Wikipedia pages.
You don't need them.
I know, but
it's irrelevant. It's a waste of space.
But it's weird. Like, every movie has a Wikipedia page.
There's like 40 Lupin movies, and I'm probably underguessing.
There's like 40 MCU movies, and each one of them has their own dedicated page.
They also make over $1 billion per movie. Bit of a f***ing difference.
Still.
Bit of a difference.
Just saying.
Lupin is not quite on that level.
No, I'm just saying, everything has its own dedicated page. It's just a little weird.
So, the other anime we're reviewing this week might not be released in the same week, but we're reviewing it at the same time, recording, was Zammed. I tried my best to watch that, and I did. I got through every episode, but I didn't remember a whole lot, because it was kind of shitty. So, when I watched this, I paid attention.
Oh, thank you. That's a change.
I paid very much attention. I know everything that happened. I don't know any of their names, but I know everything that happened.
Paid everything attention to this Lupin movie, huh?
It was okay.
Yeah, this one was actually pretty okay.
Yeah.
There was a switch of pace from...
Yeah, it really was.
What we normally do.
Yeah, and the last one had, what's his name, the detective guy?
Oh, Zenyatta.
I couldn't remember his name. Zenyatta. It was all about him.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, he was barely in it.
Yeah, no. This one's more of a Fujiko story.
Yes.
Than anything else. But, yeah, I guess premise.
There's a lost treasure from Columbus, apparently.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus found some treasure or something. I don't know. It's weird.
It has a lot of energy in it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And there's a girl looking for it. Fujiko's been looking for it for a while, apparently. And Lupin just found out about it.
Well, the girl didn't know about it until Fujiko stumbles upon her house, and she says it in her amnesiac state. And Fujiko gets amnesia an awful lot in these.
Well, damsel in distress. It works for the Lupin trope.
Yeah, I know, just saying. It's just, she gets it more than, they usually just
bring it. It would be better if Lupin got it. Yeah. Like, it would actually make, like, a better story.
Right. I mean, I thought this one wasn't bad at all. I mean...
No, but it just...
It was interesting because...
It's still cookie cutter.
It changed Fujiko's character.
Almost, a little bit, for this movie.
Yeah, for almost completely in this movie. So it's like...
Until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, she felt more like a character they would normally bring in to be a love interest.
And be saved, and then potentially die.
Yeah, and instead we have a Fujiko stand-in.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it wasn't bad. I actually liked this side character in this one, too.
She was fine, but she was just, I don't know, there.
I mean, yeah. She's not coming back or anything.
Yeah.
She's just there for this movie, like all these characters are. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but for this movie, it was fine for what it is. Yes. Essentially, Fujiko and Lupin steal the Columbus Files from a bank, which leads to a treasure, because
she has it memorized, apparently, because she's been,
reading it and stuff, yeah. But, she, because that's what they always do. It always leads to a treasure. Bad guys show up. We got our tropey bad guy this time is the guy who laughs. Yeah. And his name's Nasal.
Oh, Hazel? Or...
It's Nasal, like nose.
Yeah.
I think it's Hoff.
Yes, Hoff something, because it's like German.
It's Nasal Hoff, but they kept calling him Nasal Cough.
It's so stupid. And then we got... It was funny, though. It was dumb, but it's something you chuckle at.
And then there's also, he's like the minor bad guy, and then there's also the big bad guy, the science, like, Blowfield guy with the cat, and stuff like that.
What did he keep calling the blonde-haired girl? Was it Amateur?
Amateur.
Yeah, he kept calling her Amateur over and over again. And meanwhile, he's not that much better.
No.
Lupin still runs circles around him.
Yeah, I know, but, they try to portray this guy as,
a better
spy thief. Kind of like Lupin, Master Disguise kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Because, he's disguised himself as Fujiko a couple times and stuff like that. It's a Lupin movie. It's weird. Like,
Lupin got a tad bit rapey in the beginning with Fujiko. Like a bit. And then it wasn't so bad because it's Lupin. He's not going to go that far.
Which time, though? There was
both
a couple
times.
There was two, but he stopped both.
The first was a little bit much.
In the very beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Because I think they wanted us to think that.
Yeah. But again, it was not too far because it's Lupin.
No, because he was just doing it to get the
map or whatever information.
The files or whatever. Just
Colombian files. Columbus, sorry.
Columbus, whatever. It's the same thing. Columbus came from Colombia, right?
They both commit the same type of atrocities, so. Colombian people? Oh my god. It's like the Mexican cartel, the shit that happens over there.
Yeah, but I don't think Christopher Columbus...
That is a point of contention for a lot of people. He did some bad things, for sure.
Yeah, but he's not selling drugs.
Oh, no.
He's not a drug cartel. He did different terrible things.
Yeah, different terrible things. That being said, you gotta judge people for their time period. It's the same thing with, oh my god, the Mongolian guy? I can't think of people's names.
Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan. It's the same with Genghis Khan. Terrible, horrible things. But also pretty progressive for the time. Like, you gotta judge people in their time period. Columbus wasn't that bad, considering the time period he was in.
He wasn't, as bad as the baddest people.
Yeah. I'm not saying he was a pinnacle of, morality or anything, but no, he wasn't that bad. You can't judge, like, the presidents and the founding fathers had slaves. Like, yeah, they did bad shit, but they also did a lot of good things. And everyone owned slaves back then.
Well, that's the problem with the world. Everybody sees things as black and white. No one...
I see what you did there.
Uh-huh. But my point is, the world's not black and white. It's gray. Everyone's got good and evil in them. Everyone's done bad things. You can pretend to be this great pinnacle of goodness, but for a fact you've done some shitty things yourself. I'm not saying you're as bad as, these people were, and these people did bad things in their time period. But, just because George Washington, I'm not saying he did, I don't actually know.
But George Washington did some bad shit.
But I was just going to say, just because George Washington has slaves doesn't diminish the fact that he was a war hero 100%. And, did and helped establish the country.
The one thing I really don't like about George is that he had slaves' teeth pulled and put into his mouth. Yeah. So back then, if you didn't have teeth, you would have wood, almost like braces, but they're holding in your dentures. It's a different thing. But they weren't his teeth. They didn't have fake teeth back then.
Right.
They were sort of, but not really. He had his slave's teeth pulled so he could have teeth. That's wild. Even for back then, that's a little much.
Yeah, it's, like I said, these people, I'm not excusing anything that they're doing, but you can't just wipe away everything.
Yeah, you can't wipe it away. You gotta remember it.
You have to remember the good and the bad.
I like the triad we went on.
Huh?
The triad we all just went on.
Yeah, well, it's a Lupin movie and if we didn't go on this 5-minute tirade here, not triad, because triad's something different, but this tirade, we would have a 15-minute episode. Now we might get 20 minutes out of it.
I think we will. So, they attack while Lupin's looking over the papers. Somehow they get ripped up. I actually didn't catch that part.
The bad guys show up and they're about to get the papers, so Fujiko burns the papers. And
then she hits her head or something and gets amnesia. I don't know what happened there.
No. They fall off a cliff and they pull like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And Fujiko falls off the cliff, and I guess the fall caused her to lose her memory.
I mean, she should have died if she hit the ground.
She fell through the trees. Canopy slowed it down.
I mean, that's technically possible. A couple people survived falling from a plane because they hit trees and it broke their falling out. They were severely injured, mind you, but they lived.
Yeah, I mean...
So if you're falling out of a plane...
aim for the trees.
Aim for the trees. That's about all you can do.
And now you take that realistic
Feet
fact...
first, too.
Well, obviously. You take that realistic fact and put it into a Lupin scenario, and then you get this... This is how that works.
It works every time.
You just have to suspend your disbelief that real world facts don't work in this universe. I mean, this is the same universe that this guy just created scientifically magical energy from human beings, and then Christopher Columbus had a weather controller machine.
Oh my god.
Because that's what the Columbus eggs is. It's an energy thing that can control the weather.
My favorite parts of this were Goemon and Jigen. Yeah, they were my favorite ones this time. Jigen kept joking about Goemon giving him CPR.
Yeah.
Samurai taste in my mouth. Brushing his teeth and shit. Cracking jokes about it. That was funny. And then Goemon just kept trying to prove his worth by cutting everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, he cuts a water spout in half.
Yeah, he does cut a tornado in half.
Well, water spout.
Well, they call it a tornado.
I don't... It's over the ocean.
That's why I said tornado.
You see, they went back and forth. They called it a tornado and they called it a water spout. It's weird.
But he also cut down an entire building.
He did. In half.
And dropped
it. And moved it like 300 feet over. And then it fell sideways.
And almost dropped it on a few ninjas. This is why we cover Lupin movies. What other time do you say a sentence like that?
It happened.
It did. But
I mean, there's back and forths.
So, Fujiko loses her memory, and she's the only one that knows where the Columbus Files is, so now everyone's trying to get her, and she comes across the girl in this movie who is, the insert protagonist for this movie, who's the daughter of the bad guy for some reason.
Different colored eyes for no reason.
Yeah, just she has a cat with 2 different colored eyes
for no
now.
reason.
Yeah. It's just there because the story needed a plot, and this is what the plot is. Mm-hmm. And they just needed to make it crazy somehow, and so they did.
Yeah. There's a point where Lupin says we could split the treasure 50-50, some stuff happens, and then later on the girl says we could split the treasure 50-50, and Fujiko.
Yeah. And Lupin almost crashes the helicopter.
That was pretty funny.
Well, what's funny is the girl was really attached to Fujiko throughout the entire...
For no reason. It was weirdly attached. Like she loved her or something, but she couldn't have, and that's not what they were insinuating.
Right, but I took it as, she found Fujiko, and,
maybe she feels responsible for her, but they really didn't get that across.
I know, they didn't get it across, but the weird thing is, as soon as Fujiko got her memory back, they didn't even cross paths again. They didn't even say 2 words. It was all of a sudden, the girl was like, oh, Lupin, all of a sudden.
It's
What the...
Gears shifted. I guess there was a point when Lupin was knocked out from trying to rescue them and save them or whatever, and the girls were talking, and Fujiko was talking about, I don't really remember him, but, I know he's always there to save me.
Right. And that's fine.
So maybe that flipped the switch for her.
Maybe, but it's just weird.
It is weird.
They didn't even... It was a loose plot thread that they've built up for, the first 2/3 of the movie, and it was just... Okay, we're done with this plot thread now. Okay. I mean, it's not the first time the movie's done that with Lupin, but, still. But yeah, there's chase scenes and...
One of my favorite parts was Hot Wheels. Wheels. What? You ever watch X-Men?
Yes.
The kid in the wheelchair?
Kid in the wheelchair.
Maybe it's not X-Men.
No, I don't think you're talking about X-Men.
You get what I'm saying.
No.
You call him Wheels because he's in a wheelchair? And he's fast and zips around. Well, the big bad guy is injured, and before he gets souped up with the weird energy from Columbus, Christopher Columbus,
he hulks out eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But before then, he a moped engine shoots out the side of his wheelchair, and for it looks almost like a sidecar because it's kind of to the side for some reason. It could be internal. You don't have to show it does. And he starts zipping around super quick. It's hilarious.
It's a Lupin movie.
Yeah, he gets his powers, they fight, he doesn't die, he's essentially hulked.
Yeah, but, he's the main bad guy's the dad of this girl. And it was throughout this movie...
It got kind of dark with him.
Yeah, throughout the movie, he's they show him looking at a picture, and the daughter's been missing apparently, and stuff like that. And so you think, oh, maybe there's going to be a change of heart here. And no, and they reunite, and at first it's oh. And then... They switch a dime on him, too. All of a sudden, he wants world domination, and it's
Yeah, well, I think he kind of always wanted that. He just never let on to it. And then when he got the power, it made him crazy.
Oh.
So, makes kind of like the Captain America juice. It makes you good better, I assume.
I guess, I don't know. It's just weird that how, on a switch of a dime, he cared about... all of a sudden, once he cared about his daughter, and now he doesn't care about his daughter. Now he's trying to murder his daughter.
Yeah, well, it got really dark then, too, because, she said a couple times, I watched you murder my mom, and then after he took up the souped up juice, he's I'm gonna crush you like I crushed your mother. Holy shit, dude. That's really up.
And this guy was gone for the first 2/3 of the movie. He's barely in it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're fighting him for the last act. And
the third act was all him.
And then the other guy was barely a scene and gets killed by blood in his eyes. Or not killed, but he gets... defeated by blood in his eyes and gets arrested by Zenigata at the end.
Yeah, it was weird. It was okay.
And also, Fujiko got her memory back by saying Lupin's name without the Mr.
Mr. Lupin. Drop the Mister!
Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
Martha!
I remember you now. There's a lot of just, hand-waving stuff away in this movie. But it was a fun little romp.
It was okay. I would say it was better than average.
Yeah,
It held my interest better than the other ones.
Well, yeah. that too. It also didn't feel as long.
It felt super long to me because I didn't watch it at 1.5.
Oh, well.
So it felt super long. Yeah. But it didn't feel weirdly paced or anything.
No.
It was fine.
It felt, it didn't feel like it was dragging, is what I was saying.
Alright, I mean, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, sure. It's a Lupin movie. I mean, at this point, we're to the point where they're all kind of the same.
And that's their biggest downfall. Like, the movies could be better, but it's such a cookie-cutter Lupin shape.
Right, but that's
the shine to it. It's the appeal, but it's also its downfall.
And that's the problem. They're good movies. It's just it's like watching the same good movie over and over again. Mm-hmm. And sure, it's fun,
slightly different,
but it's at the same time, it's like, well, okay.
I watched that.
Yeah,
won't watch it again.
No. And honestly, we just watch them because we need an extra week, and
yeah, that's fair.
We don't want to fall behind on episodes.
All right, guys. Next episode
is
Zammed.
Bye.